And so they pulled over right up against the median. Jessica was sitting on the guardrail out of the way of traffic when this alleged drunk driver didn't see them.
250 ran into us at full speed. It was a drunk driver, and he never even saw us. He just ran into us, and that's what stopped him.
She was taken up to ICU there at Del Sol, and they said she's had some very grave injuries, but she's alive. It was a horrific accident and something you never think is going to happen to you. They told me she had her spleen removed, she had multiple fractures in her pelvis, and that's why they were going to need to transport her here. I thought it was going to take a long time, but UMC responded, and it was within an hour that we were told that she was going to be transported, so we followed the ambulance when they brought her here. My daughter lost hers, one of them there, and then the other one had to be removed because it was unsalvageable. Met her nurse, and when I found out that her name was Faith, I told her, it is not by accident that you are my daughter's nurse today.
She had had both her legs amputated, her pelvis was crushed, her scapula was broken, her back was just badly injured. So she suffered a great deal of injury, and I had her those first, I guess not even 24 hours into her injury. Here is where we had the adequate equipment and technology to go ahead and take care of what her injuries consisted of and the treatment that she needed to repair those injuries. You know, our ICU consists of a lot of the trauma-certified nurses. It's one of the requirements to be here.
She had a washout, which is a surgical procedure to take another part of her left leg to get it ready for prosthetics. And then her pelvic surgery a week ago today. She's got a fractured scapula, and that's supposed to heal on its own. So she's got limited movement of her left arm because of that, but physical therapy's been working with her and trying to get that. Her liver is not functioning as it should be, but they've told me it's because of blood transfusions that she had. She had 16 units of blood and blood products. And I'm grateful that Del Sol was able to recognize that they could not address my daughter's multiple pelvic fractures and recommended that she be brought here. And I think it's important for a city this size to have a facility like this. I think it's great that my daughter didn't have to travel someplace else because this is home, and she has 3 children who call El Paso home. To be able to come here every day and see my daughter and not have it be, you know, have the burden of traveling to another city and getting a hotel or anything like that. I know that some of the patients do because you don't have a facility like this in every city.
There were times where I just, either I was in a lot of pain or I just needed somebody there. And ICU, they're always there, like right by your side. You call for them and they're there for anything that you need. They're right there with no wait.
There were times that she just needed to cry, and I didn't leave her. Instead of, you know, allowing her to kind of get through that emotional roller coaster on her own, I stayed with her and I held her hand. Sometimes I didn't have the right words to tell her. I mean, there's nothing that I can say that's going to take away the horrible fact that she doesn't have legs anymore. But what I can do is stand there and hold her hand and tell her that she's still a great mother, she's a wonderful daughter, and you know, she can still do all the things that she did before, just differently. We're so lucky to be affiliated with an academic medical center. To be affiliated with Texas Tech means that we have all the cutting edge treatments that are going to serve our community best. It means that research is constantly being done. We're trying to pull in the most up-to-date procedures and technology to give people the care that they deserve. And so I think that if I were to get sick, I would definitely want to be here.
The physical therapists, the rehab people who come in, they put her in the wheelchair. I got to see them and how they gently carried my daughter from the bed, transferred her to the wheelchair. It's an amazing world here in ICU, and it's tenderness and love and caring and a calling. that they've all answered.
I've gone through a lot, but I think one who's gone through more is my mom. To have to see me the way I was when I first came in, to actually have to go through everything that I went through. And my mom's been the one to see me go through everything step by step. I think it's a lot harder in her hands than it is mine. My kids were not allowed to come up to ICU, but when I was well enough, they made it a point for me to go down and see my kids. I've been over a month since I had seen my kids. I've got 3 of them, very young ones. I'm a single mom, so they depend on me and I depend on them. My physical therapists don't like me very much. I'm a little lazy sometimes, or sometimes I just want to sleep, and so they come in and want to do some physical therapy with me, and I tell them no, that I'm too tired, but they keep coming back until you do.
We as a community need to support this facility. We as a community need to recognize, hopefully we don't ever have to use this facility, but if you do, if you need that type of care, you know that it's here. I know I haven't covered everyone, but to everyone in the ICU, thank you for taking care of my little girl.